the milkman, the paperboy, and even TV. Oh, we're over here getting a little extra stretching in. Trying to loosen the hips up best I can for the hinge motions that we'll be performing today. While also simultaneously, did I say that word correctly? I'm a heavy southern man. My vocabulary isn't the best in terms of enunciations on words. But been sitting here listening to Reddit stories as I warmed up, which is no proper way to get your mind ready for a leg day, right? You want to have some music on or something that just, pumps the blood. And I'm over here listening to Reddit stories, which, if these stories are true, that definitely highlights the darker nature of humans because there's no fucking way I would even survive 2 seconds inside of the things that, these Reddit stories talks about, especially when it comes to like relationship wise. I'm just, you're not a better. I'm my favorite phrase. You're better than me. You're not better than me. I'm out day one. But we've had a pretty good start to the morning. Woke up, ate a respectable breakfast. It was a big breakfast. Steak, eggs, bacon, avocado, grits with cheese. I really went to town on that to try to have some fuel for the pushing that we're going to be doing. But it just you got to eat well if you're going to come in here and do it. Like ain't no point of jeopardizing. It's not even jeopardizing, right? Ain't no point of coming in and performing less than your standard because you haven't done the front end work, which is the hardest part, eating food. Because I'm a person who struggles with eating. I'm a naturally skinny person, right? I've just been really consistent in the gym. That's why I have my muscular frame. But if I chill out for a week, I lose muscle. Like, I don't even know, man. It pulls the question in my mind: am I actually healthy out here sometimes? But that's just the nature of the body that I have. But you know, ate pretty well. Coming inside of here, getting ready for a leg day. Today isn't anything exciting, right? It's a Sunday, so relax day, and just eat for the rest of the day. Prepare for the week. But let's get to it. Let's pump these things. Now, last time I measured my biceps, I so on average my biceps they range around 17, 18, rested. But once the pump came in, it got to a full 20 inches around circumference. But and that's good, right? 2 inches from the pump. So I'm curious to see what my legs are. Right, I'm not a person who measured. I think the last time I really measured my body was 3 years ago when I started working with Jordan Vallejo, and we were just, I was paying him for some personal training. Although I was a trainer at the time, I do feel trainers do need trainers, but I was paying them, so we did my measurements back then, which I don't remember any of them, but we kind of, I'm curious now. I'm curious to see where am I growing, how am I growing, what muscle is bigger than the other one on the same part. Like, so the right arm bigger than the left arm, those type of things, right? So definitely want to be better in that. So, just monitoring it and keeping track and progressing with those. You know. But let's get to it and let's see. Let's start it up. So being able to measure my quad should be significantly easier than measure my bicep because I was at that more kind of fiddle around. When this one I can really just, I can hold it a little better, but we're gonna measure, come from about mid thigh because that should be like the biggest area between, you know, quad and hamstring. But we're looking at 28 inches around, so 28-inch wheels. That's not bad, but that's my right leg. Let's check out and see if we're even with the left leg. So my left leg is slightly smaller. Right leg was right at 28. Left leg is at 27 and a half. And for the calves, now this is where I'll say this is lagging, right? My calves are 17, so they're about the same size as my bicep. Hmm. Okay, okay. I guess I'm not as small as I thought. And this one is, hold on, that's in the wrong part of it. Also 17. So 17 to 17. My calves are pretty even, which for some odd reason, it looks like okay, 17 and a half. My right one is slightly bigger. So in all, my right side is an inch bigger than my left side. And that could be for various reasons. Like, we all got imbalances, but that's mine. So we got what was it, 27, 17, and let's see at the end of the workout what that pump is like and see where we go from there. All right, so we're on our first set of leg extensions, starting off with a pre-exhaust. And what I did was I hit 2 sets at 50, right? Just doing, the mind muscle connection reps to make sure, what I want to work with actually working in an effective manner. So we hammered our sets of 12, 15, 15 of those right there, 2 sets of them. Now is on to just the working set. So we got a 4 by 12 on each leg. This is at 130 pounds starting off. Um, and we're going to see if we can keep it at that as we get through these sets. But I mean, the time for the first one, I've been kind of listening to this Joe Rogan podcast, which isn't getting me hype at all. I'm gonna switch it up after this first set just to kind of tap in mentally, be a little more gritty. That first one. Ah, that's doubtful. Maybe 100, 110. But to even it out though. Yeah. You good, my man. You good. Same set, same rep. Here we go. So the leg extensions I did, I got my quads pretty pumped up right now. So on leg press, we're gonna start off with 4 plates and try to get to 12 to 15 on those. Typically I'm doing 8 to 10, right? But I kind of want to see what doing more reps on these, delivers me in terms of results. So 12 to 15, I'm gonna start off at 4 plates and gauging how this first set goes because of my pre-exhaust, right? I know I'm not as strong as putting 13 plates on each side and fucking it off for 20. One, that's how I fucking my knee last time, and I did a month of, having to rough through it. So we're not gonna do that. But, gauging will go up or not. So I kind of discovered something. I stress a lot for range of motion. And now on these, my ankles, they aren't as, they're not getting as much flexion down. So, that's kind of impeding me from getting ultimate depth. I don't know if it's necessarily I'm developing tight ankles, which, let's be real, probably so. Or it's the high top bands I got on. They're tied all the way at the top, so that could be impeding movement, which brings into question, what type of shoes to wear on certain type of days. I, I, I only go to work and I come to the gym, so if any shoes or clothes that I buy, I wear my brand new shoes to the gym to come and work out because it's essentially my outing. It's my club. It's my, this is my home away from home while I'm not at work. I'm in one of three places: gym, work, home. So I think it's a sacrifice that I make, right? If I buy them, I want to wear them. This is just my place to wear them. So you don't get everything, right? It's always compromise or something, you know. But my aesthetics while I'm in the gym working out is also very important to me. Which, am I vain? Depends on with what. I would say yeah and no. But, that is something to think about while you're preparing for the gym. What am I wearing? Is it conducive to what I'll be doing? But 5 plates now. Second set. Two more. Woo! This be a tough one. Oh, I'm lightheaded. we're only doing 2 sets of hamstring curls. It's not necessarily a day where I plan on hitting those at all. It's more so quad focused. Because that's what my attention is at, like, the most. My biggest lagging area is my hamstring. Once they're cut, they're pretty nice. It's my quads. Like, I want to see the peaks, the valleys, the cut. And I don't have, I just have really big fucking legs. Uh, but I want some beauty with them, some definition. So, quad focus is what I'm harping today. But as always, keep your grass cut, man. Is that Forrest Gump on TV? That is Forrest. Y'all trying to, let's go watch some Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump is one of the greatest movies ever. That man catching them Watergate. Yeah, I had Forrest Gump on VHS, and I watched that movie every night for years. And so I know this movie like word for word, quote for quote. Yeah, Nixon, retire, boy. All right, let's go get back to it. We're gonna watch Forrest Gump later. Now, while doing my 2 sets of hamstring curls, I noticed the pump in my quads had went down. So I think the best thing that I can do is, after my 3 sets of incline squats, right? Because that's why I play this like this. We're gonna take those measurements. That way we can get like more so of an accurate pump measurement. So,
My sister
sit at the bottom.
also solo children service stakeholders. So I want to like at the school and I like I'm not just only the job. So that we can decide to fit into what the program is. They want to solo. Yeah, so he said you said a song. Yeah. I can play it.
Well,
Are you gonna then sing along with it? Yeah.
three more.
Make it loud, and then you go there and
Three more.
oh, you don't know it yet. You just like, do you want to read the lyrics? I know some. Okay, don't worry.
I gotta pop a Zen for this set. Yep. Yep. Hey, look, I'm a country brother. Don't expect too much out of me. I don't change. I don't diverge. I was born country. I'm gonna die country. It's just that bone in me. Hush. Every day some new shit. Oh my god. All right, so moment of truth time. Now, I wasn't able to get the pump that I was looking for again, while doing the squat. So I went back and did one set of leg extensions to see if I can get somewhere close to the pump that I had at the beginning of the workout. But fatigue set in, and without compromisation, is that a word? We'll figure it out. Without that, right, we won't be able to necessarily get to it. Like I just can't. I didn't have the strength to. So we're gonna take these measurements and see where we're at. If I wasn't mistaken, we had 27 last time, and now we're 28 and a half. So an inch and a half of growth. And then let me see if we can have the same results over on this side. So this is 28. So on both sides, we gained an inch. I'm pretty sure with the first pump we had, I felt like, the tightness of that area, that had to be like, if that was 28, I had to be around 29, right? So, once again, from me coming into the gym and ending my workout, both upper and lower body, I'm growing somewhere an inch and a half to 2 inches between, me flaccid and pump. All right. I'm done. So I gained an inch, 2 inches between flaccid and pump, right? And that's good. Now, my ultimate goal is to have my pump look be my all the time look, but that's obviously growth throughout the progressive stage. That's good though, right? But that's it. We're gonna go over here and do some abs and calves, which don't necessarily have to be recorded. So, if you're getting things from this, like, comment, subscribe, share. And as always, tell your aunties about your boy. Go ahead and have them share the page. And then, that'll definitely help us keep growing. But much love as always, World Strength. Y'all be easy. Go get to it. One thing I'm good for is cramping doing a leg pump. I don't know. I think I'm can't necessarily see.